JBN, we keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, St. Ann Mason shot and killed in Montego Bay. A St. Ann Mason was shot and killed by unknown assailants at the Bogue Village housing scheme in Montego Bay, St. James, on Wednesday night. The deceased has been identified as O'Neill Jones of Parrytown in St. Ann. Reports from the Freeport police saw that about 9 p.m., residents of Bogue housing scheme alerted the police after hearing explosions sounding like gunshots in the area, and saw a man running from a white 2016 Toyota Fielder motor car which was parked along the roadway. On examination, the police found multiple bullet holes all over the vehicle. A search of the area led to the discovery of Jones's body in a yard with multiple gunshot wounds to the upper region. He was taken to the Cornwall Regional Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Security guard killed at Moby Wholesale. A security guard was gunned down while at work at a wholesale in Montego Bay, St. James on Thursday. He has been identified as 56-year-old O'Neill Wilson, otherwise called Wilcock, of Hermitage District in Bethel Town, Westmoreland. A motive is yet to be established. The police report that Wilson was on the job at Wagon Wholesale, located along Railway Lane, when about 4:20 p.m., a man with a handgun entered the establishment. The gunman opened fire, hitting Wilson before escaping on foot. The police were summoned, the scene was processed, and Wilson's body was removed to the morgue for a post-mortem examination. Magotty High elated by Adrianas' return. School friends and teachers of Adriana Magotty High School wore smiles and happy faces on Thursday after the 13-year-old burn victim finally returned to Jamaica following a series of life-saving surgeries in the United States. Adriana and her three brothers, 7-year-old twins Jaden and Jordan, and 8-year-old Adriana, were trapped inside their Westmoreland home by a massive fire on September 4 last year. Adriana was a lone survivor, but needed urgent care to stay alive, having received burns to more than 90% of her body. Her schoolmates at Magotty thought they would never see her alive again. To witness her miraculous return to Jamaica on Thursday brought elation to them and teachers as well. They brought her flowers and showered her with love and hugs at the Norman Mall International Airport, which appeared to bring joy to Adriana. Tasha Gay Swebe Allen, one of Adriana's teachers, described the teen's return as a miracle and said she was excited and overwhelmed to be in the girl's presence on Thursday. According to Swebe Allen, a team has been created at Magotty High to welcome Adriana back to the institution in a comfortable and safe way. The feeling is beyond expression in any form. Having your student return to you is more than a miracle. I taught Adriana English language and literature 5 days per week in grade 7. She was also an athlete for my house, Orchard House. We have a team in place, and we call it the Welcome Committee, and we are putting things in place to finalize the exact date for her return to school. There was a planned function for that day, and the school is looking forward to this special moment, she said. St. James man fined $30,000 for cocaine. A man with the police arrested after several parcels of cocaine were found inside his yard was fined $30,000 following his appearance in the St. James Parish Court on Thursday. Christopher Fuller, 30, of Loveland in Montego Bay, appeared before presiding parish judge Sasha Mary Smith Ashley, charged with possession and dealing in cocaine. According to the allegations, earlier this month, police conducted a targeted raid on premises in Loveland when Fuller was observed coming from the lower section of a house. He was approached and a search of the area was conducted, yielding 49 packets of cocaine. When asked about the substance, he reportedly said, "Officer, a little dope me a sell." The weight of the drug has not been ascertained. Fuller's lawyer, Martin Thomas, refuted the prosecution's claim, saying that according to his instructions, his client was not coming out from under the house at that time of the morning. His problem is that he's been targeted, and he insists that at the time he was in his bed sleeping upstairs. They were at his house a few days before, and a week before they were there, Thomas said. Thomas then asked the judge for a sentence indication in case his client wanted to shorten the proceedings. After receiving the sentence indication, Fuller pleaded guilty to possession and dealing in cocaine. Judge Smith Ashley then fined him $10,000 or 30 days in jail for possession of the drug and $20,000 or 30 days in jail on the dealing charge. Rafts on White River St. Ann destroyed by TPDCO for operating illegally. Several rafts were destroyed by the Tourism Product Development Company Limited, TPDCO, alongside the security forces in White River, St. Ann on Thursday morning. According to the TPDCO, the move followed several attempts to end illegal rafting and the several issues being reported on the river. In a release sent out to the media on Thursday, the TPDCO said the operation that started around 10 a.m. comes after many consultations with offending parties and a myriad of complaints from visitors and stakeholders. Among the complaints it noted are that of sexual harassment, rafts being operating in a drunken state, other criminal activities, and a prolonged breach of the River Rafting Act. The TPDCO said utilizing a clear hold and reset strategy, the TPDCO partnered with the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF and the Jamaica Defence Force JDF in terminating the illegal activities. The operation also included closure notice signs being posted, advising the general public that the section of the White River under the bridge is closed to unlicensed activities by order of the River Rafting Authority, which regulates and controls river rafting in Jamaica. It pointed out that this has been a long-standing issue, and the action comes after several consultation meetings with operators undertaking illegal activities, where they were informed of the illegality of the operations and the intent of the authorities to have the activities terminated. Other public bodies, including the National Environment and Planning Agency NEPA and the St. Ann Municipal Corporation, have also served warning and enforcement notices on the illegal operators from as early as October 2022. It stated that a final warning was issued by the St. Ann Police, who visited the site and requested that operators voluntarily remove their rafts by March 20, 2023. This they said took place to no avail. Alleged car thieves granted $500,000 bail. 4 men were charged in connection with the theft of a woman's motor car, which granted bail in the sum of $500,000 when they appeared in the St. James Parish Court on Thursday. Sheon Harrison, O'Dave Wright, and Sheon Anderson, all 29-year-olds of St. Catherine addresses, and a 19-year-old Tatiana Champagne from St. Elizabeth, are charged with motor vehicle larceny and receiving stolen property. They were presented by attorneys at law Albert Morgan and Henry McCurdy. When the case was called before Parish Judge Sasha Smith Ashley, the prosecution objected to bail on the grounds that the defendants reside outside of the parish. In response, Justice Smith Ashley questioned why the men were in Montego Bay at the time of the theft. It was pre-Valentine's Day, Attorney Morgan explained, as he responded to why his clients, Harrison and Wright, were in the city. In the meantime, McCurdy, who represents Anderson and Champagne, stated that they were willing to pay $800,000 in restitution, which is the estimated cost of the damage done to the complainant's recovered vehicle. The case was temporarily postponed so that the defendants could participate in a mediation session with the probation officer present in court, and they agreed to make restitution. The judge subsequently granted bail to each defendant in the amount of $500,000 with up to 2 sureties and reporting conditions. The matter was set for mention on April 14, and the defendants were told to have the $800,000 available on that day. According to the information before the court, the complainant parked her Toyota Axio in a parking lot along Howard Cook Boulevard at approximately 7:10 p.m. on February 13. When she returned, the vehicle was gone. She reportedly called the police, and the track on her car led them to a section of Coral Gardens, where they found the car partially scrapped and hidden in bushes. The 4 men were later held in a Toyota Belta motor car, which the police intercepted near the Ibero Star Hotel. A bag with the complainant's personal effects was found in the car the men were traveling in. They were then arrested and charged. Gun owner accused of shooting man during bar dispute gets $500,000 bail. The St. Catherine licensed farm holder, who reportedly shot a man in the face during a dispute at a bar, was this morning offered $500,000 bail in the gun court. Businessman Mark Chen, 40, was offered bail by Justice Chester Stamp on condition that he report to the Old Harbour Police Station on Mondays and Thursdays. Chen is scheduled to return to court on April 28. He is charged with wounding with intent, making use of a firearm to commit a felony, and breaches of the terms and conditions of a firearm authorization. Allegations are that on February 19, the accused and the complainant had a dispute which became physical. Chen allegedly brandished his licensed firearm, held the man by his throat, and opened gunfire, hitting him in his face, according to the police. The injured man was assisted to a hospital where he was treated. The police reported that Chen later turned himself in and his firearm was seized. He was charged after a question and answer interview in the presence of his lawyer. Chen is being represented by attorney at law Orville Morgan. Evicted housemate on assault charges remanded. A St. James man accused of assaulting a woman, damaging her motor car, and threatening to kill her has been remanded until his trial begins on April 21. Joaquin Green appeared in the St. James Parish Court on Wednesday, charged with assault occasioning bodily harm, malicious destruction of property, and a threat. According to the allegations, the woman parked her car on Jimmy Cliff Boulevard around 7:30 p.m. on February 28 when she heard a banging on the vehicle. She glanced and saw Green, who reached through the window and punched her on the right side of her head twice while threatening to kill her. He also hurled something into the vehicle's windscreen. As she drove away, she observed damage to the right back door of the vehicle where the accused had been banging. According to court documents, Green called the complainant on March 17, saying, "Me must murder you," among other things. It is alleged that when he was held by the police, Green said, "Me call her because me want to talk to her to ask her where she called police upon me." In court, Judge Sasha Mary Smith Ashley questioned the relationship between Green and the complainant, to which he responded, "Me and her in a relationship, miss," but the woman denied this claim. "Do you think that mediation is appropriate, or do you wish the matter to be tried?" Judge Smith Ashley asked the complainant. "No, Your Honor," the complainant stating, indicating that she does not want to attend mediation. "He attacked me multiple times and I have multiple injuries. He attacked me about 4 different times. Every time I go to the police station, he threatened me in front of the police, saying he has to murder me," the complainant said, but Green denied this claim. "So you're saying this isn't the first time you've received repeated threats and attacks from him?" the judge then asked the complainant. "Yes, Your Honor," the complainant replied. "Were you in a relationship?" the judge asked. "We're not in a relationship, Your Honor," the complainant told the judge. Green interjected at that point, saying, "We were in a relationship, Your Honor," but the judge urged him to keep quiet because he had already had his chance to speak. The complainant then explained that Green was having some problems and that her husband had allowed him to reside in the basement where he had a separate entrance. "Every day and every night he's up in the main section of the house, and I did not feel comfortable about it because he stays there until late. I see it as a problem because he smokes ganja," the complainant said. According to the complainant, Green began touching her inappropriately and saying inappropriate things to her. She stated that she told her husband, who ultimately began to see things for himself, and that they both requested Green to leave. She stated that he became violent and that they had to call 119 for help to get him out. She went on to say that ever since then, whenever Green sees her, he attacks her and threatens to kill her. After hearing the complainant, the judge scheduled the case for trial and ordered Green remanded. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.